Welcome to this podcast. Um,
Thank
for
you.
people that are new here, welcome. My name is Noah, and I'm a career coach and a mentor, a tech professional, and I've been doing this for more than 10 years, helping a lot of people who are passionate about making a change in their career. For the past 7 years, and more recently in Australia, for the past 2 years, we've really helped a lot of Africans to upskill, get into jobs of their dream, and they are now thriving. And a lot of people are still on that journey, which we are passionate about. In today's podcast, we're going to be sharing three powerful tips or characteristics of people who have made successful transition. And in our experience, helping a lot of people transition, I've got Tayo, who is co-founder of SynSkills as well, on the
Sure.
podcast today to share some powerful tips, you know, um, and experience and nugget. I trust her to dish it out. So welcome, Tayo.
Thank you.
Let's
Thank
dive
you.
in.
Thank you.
Yeah, I guess the first place to start, rightfully so, is just chat about the first thing. So what would you say,
Okay.
people who are going to be successful, in transition, in changing their career, because we can all agree that this is a transformational process. Like you want to change your
Certainly.
career
Certainly. Yeah.
forever, right? So for you
Going.
to
Yeah.
make that step, like for you to be successful on that journey, what is the first thing we need to keep in mind?
That's a great question, Noah. And like you rightly said, doing a new thing, whatever phase of life or whatever it is you're doing something that you haven't done before does require a whole lot of things. I think the first thing I'm going to start with for today's one is really the mindset. Look, there's something about
Mm,
your mind, like everything flows from your mind, right? So if the mind is not
mm,
right, or if you're not in the right state of mind, then it's a joke, simply put. I'm saying mindset because if when your mindset is right, you're able to actually connect to your why. Why
mm,
do I want to do this? Why do I want to upskill? Why do I want to transition into a new career? Why do I want to explore no code tech roles? For some people, it could be flexibility. Some people, it could
mm,
be to increase their earning power, right? For some
mm,
people, it could be they don't want to trade their time for money anymore. They don't want to have to do 4 jobs for them to bring home 100K or 120, for do you understand? So people have different reasons and it all flows from their mind. So I
mm,
think the first one is the mindset.
mm,
Why do you want this? What do you want this for? What do you want to
mm,
change in your life? And I say that in one because in my experience with a lot of people, sometimes when I see drop off and when I see, people that are unable to persevere, it's because they don't have a strong reason as to why they want to do this, or they're
mm,
simply not in the right state of mind. Now, people are very busy. I acknowledge that a lot of people have different things going on in their life. You simply cannot successfully transition if you don't have a clear mindset. If your head is
mm,
not clear, as an example, right? We've had a lot of people where they've had family commitments. People have got wives, people have got husbands, people have got wives who are, expectant, people have lost loved ones, which is quite sad. People have just had really, really tight schedule that has really obstructed them from being able to put into and to adopt all of the techniques, that we're introducing them to, which all fits into the clear state of mind. Your mindset, when your mindset is so powerful, when you can connect to your why, it does two things to you. Number one, it helps you block out external voices. You're not
mm,
driven by what people do or are not doing. You see
mm,
yourself as I'm on a solo journey, whether or not the people in my class are turning up, or whether or not someone that I know or that has gone through the process has gotten a job or not. You're not driven by that because you see yourself as an individual, as a separate person who was got a task on their end. And whether or not Noah has gone through this process, whether Noah gets a job or not, I'm not going to determine my own success by what Noah has done or what Noah hasn't done. Do you see what I'm trying to get at? So the mindset
Absolutely.
helps you to block out external voices first. Secondly, it helps you to ignore what people are doing or not doing because you know you're laser focused on what you want. So for me
Mm,
personally, the first thing I always say to people, where's your head at? Where's your mind at? Are you actually ready for this? Why do you want this? If your reason is, oh, because it's in vogue, it's trending, I'm doing it, I tell you instantly, please go back to the drawing board because that simply won't work. You need to
mm,
want this for yourself because when the going becomes a little bit tough, you can go back to the reason why you want this. There's a
mm,
very outstanding story that jumps at me for one of our students who got a job, I think that was earlier on this year. And he said, thank you so much. This is the first Christmas that I'm spending with family without thinking that I'm losing money. Like,
mm,
that
mm,
blows my mind every single time that I remember. This is the first Christmas that I'm spending with family, relaxing and not thinking, oh, I'm meant to be out there, trying to get in the extra dollars.
mm,
Which, again, he had a reason, he had his why. He needed to spend more time with his family as a newlywed. At that point in time, he realized that his current job was taking a big toll on his family. Now, that's a very
mm,
strong reason for this individual. And that helps them to go through the process. I mean, the process is intense. Just like anything that you do in life, when you're doing a new thing, you need to put in the time. You need to put in the work. You need to put in the effort. The
mm,
summary of my story is your mindset is key. Your
mm,
why needs to be strong and you need to have a clear state of mind. If those things are missing, I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's going to be tough. It's going to
mm.
be a very hard road to
Absolutely.
tread.
I think you've just shared some powerful, powerful nugget there. And,
Mm,
there are so many stories that at this point we can draw from,
totally.
another beautiful story where one of our students wanted to actually transition, right? But they
Yeah.
had also all these other things that as plan B, plan C, right? They want to do masters in nursing,
Oh my
if the
goodness. Yeah.
transition does not work, they
Yeah.
want to apply to another job if, this does not work, right? I
Yeah.
think talking about mindset, if you're doing something and you're not laser focused, in
It's hard.
like this is definitely what I want and I want to chase this and make a success out of it, it will be challenging.
Absolutely.
It will be very challenging for you to actually achieve result because your mind will be like, yeah, I can just pinch it here, pinch it there,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
well, it's not a do or die. I think that
Eh,
people that had do or die, for example, one of our students that said, hey, Noah, hey, Tayo, I cannot go back to my former job after maternity.
yes. Very
February
strong.
2024.
Very strong.
I
Yeah.
I must be a business analyst. I don't want to
Yes.
go back to that job. And we see reoccur.
Mm,
People that have that deadline, like do or die, they take
yeah.
all the strategies and run with it without you motivating them too many times, right? They
Yes.
run with it
Exactly.
and they get it, which is so powerful. And I
Yeah.
wish people understand because a lot of people hear the good news, they hear the end of the process, they hear the news of job offer, they are
Yeah.
motivated in the moment, but sometimes forget about their why. Like, why am I doing? Is it because
Why?
Rachel got this job or Pedro got this job? That is why I think I should do it, or I'm actually sick of my current situation, and this is
Exactly.
a do or die for me. I think we
Yeah.
should turn our book to the next powerful one again
Certainly.
about so this next one is
Interesting.
not achievable except of course the first one is correct and it is
Intact.
about upskilling. So upskilling is a very important part of the process. We know that several people try to upskill by maybe watching
Yeah.
YouTube video, or maybe they go and sign up for an online course, or they're just getting advice for some people and reading different
Yeah.
stuff in a way that is the journey is very lonely and they can't really learn. They don't have a structure. They don't know how to validate and verify their journey,
Yeah.
which is always very challenging in that process. What are your thoughts on, how would somebody be able to upskill for this new career or role?
Certainly. I mean, there's different things that you can do. You need to have a strategy, is the first thing that I would
Mm,
say. When it comes to getting skilled at anything, you need to have a structure. You need to have a
mhm, mhm.
plan, and you need to have someone who is actually holding your hand to say, this is what I'm going to do for this week. This is what you need to do, supporting you with real life, scenarios, real life examples, real life, basically what you're going to be doing when you get the job. Now, when you look at our structure at Sync Skills as an example, because the focus is to get you a job, we simply are not just all about the theory. Look, anyone can read theory. You can go ahead and read books, da 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 da. But when when things are being explained to you using real life scenarios,
Mm,
leveraging our experience as people who work in Australia as well, it's a completely different ball game. And you talk about getting skilled. Right now, getting skilled means that you are ready to set out the time. 10 weeks, 11 weeks, you're dedicated to that period. Because everything has a beginning, there's a foundation that builds up every week, right? So
yeah,
getting skilled is not, oh, I do it week one, that's it, and then you fall off the wagon and you come back week five. That is simply
yeah.
not going to work. In this area where you're learning something new, you're being introduced to new techniques, new frameworks, new concepts every week. You can find that on YouTube. You can find that on some, e-learnings. But what you cannot find is that tailored approach.
Taylor,
Tire require a
yeah.
little bit more when it comes to someone explaining a concept to her. That's something. So I'm gonna get something tailored to me in a way that Taya can understand. You want to be in an environment where they're looking at the things that you do currently, and leveraging that to explain concepts to you, to explain the techniques to you in a way that you can fully comprehend what is being said. So there's different things, there's different ways that you can get skilled, but you need to be extremely careful that you're being given a tailored support. Something that is actually going to work for you, explanation that is going
Mm,
to work in a way that you can easily digest the information that is being said to you.
mm. Absolutely. And just to add to that powerful point, in at skills, for example, it's not really about just learning the theory. We also give
Yeah.
you opportunity to express what you've done, right? It's more of the
Yeah,
application layer for us because we are setting
absolutely.
you up for success from day one on the job, right?
Yep.
So you do things like presentation. Remember, like, our own approach when it comes to skill building, you don't get that online. You build skills where
Yeah.
you present online, you give presentation, you research answers, the things
You
that you'll
work
be
in
doing
groups.
typically on the
You work in groups
exactly
as though you're
the
actually
work
working, in an
the opportunity to
actual
work in
organization.
groups, the community, the sense of belonging, the common cause, like the motivation, the intrinsic motivation that
Yeah.
you get from that process and from your colleagues and all of those things help you spawn you through moments where you're a bit down, you're unsure. Remember the
Yeah.
story about one of our students that said, I found somebody that I felt was tracking all right, like knows more than me, knows a
Yes.
bit,
Yes. I thought that
and
was
they formed
brilliant.
a team, and they
We
were
form a
able to go on
success
a job.
group.
Exactly, and they were able to get a job. But
Yeah.
one got a job, motivated the other person, and they
Yes.
all helped each other,
Fast
and
track. Fast track.
that's such a powerful. We don't even teach that, right? But
Nah.
you just find certain people that are just so driven, they
Yeah.
find their peak, and they're able to go on that journey together, and it's just brilliant to watch.
And
Yeah.
no, just on that point, something just jumped into my mind when you talked about skill building. And you
Mm,
probably remember this, but in our experience where, we support people, especially from the skill building point of view, where it's
Yeah.
been really intriguing to find out that a lot of people, they've actually never ever scheduled a Zoom meeting. They've actually
Oh,
never
yeah.
ever scheduled a meeting. They've never ever done
Created a
a
PowerPoint.
professional PowerPoint deck. Never ever. And I think that's the beauty of the work that we do, because we meet different people with different level of experience. There are people, they've worked in corporate all their lives. There are people who, they haven't had the opportunity. But being in an environment that we create for you to do everything before you even get on the job. You're in an
Mm.
environment where you're scheduling Zoom meetings. You're in an environment where you're being introduced to even corporate lingos. So when you go out there, you're not looking like, sorry, I'm sorry,
Uh,
what's that? I mean, you like to take me to this because I like to speak in acronyms a lot. But when
yeah.
people get introduced, and I guess that's a
COB.
very big thing that you don't get everywhere.
You
That's a
don't.
lot of things that you don't get everywhere.
Like Tayo would say, you at you like COB business as usual. People don't even know business as usual. And you're like, oh,
Even
okay.
though it's so
I thought
popular, but a
everybody
lot of people
knows
still
what
don't know
business
it.
as
Like,
BAU is. But yeah, it's so powerful. I think just to round it up for this episode, right, is the place of support, right? And I
yes,
think we do it like no other. We can,
I agree.
but how crucial do you think support is, for people on that transition journey?
Let's be honest and let's be realistic. We are human beings. There's a lot of
Mhm.
things that can, let me not say go wrong, but there are things that happens like in our respective life that can really, really impact the journey to transitioning. And I think as Sync Skills, we
Mhm.
I would say we do a really good job when it comes to welfare, because we're so people centric. People come first. Where we've had people who
Yeah.
have family commitment, a lot of things that is happening to them. They've had that support all the way through your 10 week training, up until you get to the dollar stage, which is my favorite stage. Up until you get you're in the tech program, you get, even when you get the job, there's support. When you look at your life cycle with Sync Skills, there's actually support every step of the way, where someone's actually reaching out to you to say, how are you doing? Is this making sense to you? Like, is this adding up? And to your question, Noah, this is extremely important. And I'm really big on when it comes to welfare generally.
Yeah.
That's something that I'm very big on. I like to know how
Mhm.
people are feeling, because again,
As
if
a
you're not
former
feeling
HR.
well, if you're not feeling well, exactly, if you're not feeling well in your mind and your soul, there's really no way you can get to where we need you to get to. So for us, that is key. We offer that
Which is
support,
underrated. People
which is
don't
quite
talk about that.
underrated.
Other people want to sell the course. You just do this, and then they
Nah,
forget that human beings are behind, they're the one taking this course. There
exactly,
are days when they are
exactly,
going through a lot, a
a
lot,
lot,
and
and
they
things
just
can
need
happen.
somebody. When you call some people, they're like, my God, thank you.
I
I
needed
really
this call.
appreciate the call. Like,
Yeah,
seriously. And even though it's so stressful and demanding for us, we do it
yeah,
because
it is.
of those moments where people just
Yeah,
that message, forget transition, that
yeah,
message, and they're like, my God, Noah called me, Tayo called me,
yeah.
thank you so much. Like, it's so beautiful to watch,
It is.
and I
It
think
is.
that because training is really about optimizing for profit, right? A lot of companies
Yeah,
just want to make money, more people to sign up. For us, is that passion that behind our Sync Skills mission, right?
there's still. Yeah,
More Africans to tap into opportunities and not settle.
nah.
Because like I was doing a research yesterday, and I was trying to how many Africans are actually in the parliament, Australian parliament,
What did you
right?
find? What did you find?
None,
Tell me.
none, none. I'm
There
like,
you go.
hey,
There you
Tayo,
go.
we we have work to do, right?
We
If we start
do.
to
We
get
do.
into professional careers en masse, our story can change, right?
I agree.
Maybe
I
you have
agree.
to apply and become a parliament, an MP. and that's what we
And to
want.
Tayo, wouldn't that be
Look at the
great?
UK. The
The,
UK
the
people are
first black
doing well.
woman. Yeah.
Exactly. In the UK, we have Kemi Badenoch, we have
Yeah.
so many Africans, that are doing amazing things and shaping policies and helping.
Yeah.
We want that in Australia.
And it's possible. Like, it is achievable. It's like,
Absolutely.
it is not anything that is like far reaching. It's achievable. We just be putting the work.
Yeah, yeah. But support is very important during transition process
I
because
mean, from attitude, from like the
like
beginning, when you look at the life cycle, like from when you step into the program, that support is key. When you finish the program, the support is key. When you start applying for jobs, because let's not even delve into the world of job application. That is stressful. I mean, talking about quality applications now, that can be extremely overwhelming. It's a lot.
is.
Without the right support, there's going to be drop off.
There
Even like
would be.
for the interview preparation as well, there's a lot of support required because for you to
Yeah.
wow a recruiter, you cannot go there with tell me about yourself. My name is Tayo. You do that,
Yeah.
no one's gonna take you seriously. A recruiter will judge they start to
Absolutely.
judge you from the first 10-20 seconds. The moment you open your mouth, someone's like, yeah, nah, no, not this person. So that the support during that
Yeah.
stage extremely key. Extremely key.
And what always jumps at me is that people think that even when they get a job, that's the end. I remember I was on a call with somebody that's gotten a job. Yeah, they've studied. For you to get a job, you've done a fair
You've
bit
done a
of work.
fantastic job.
But
Yeah.
because this is a new terrain, right? They still needed a lot of validation, like a lot of confidence to look
Am I
at
good
what they are
enough?
doing. Are you doing the right thing, right? Am I
Yeah. Yeah.
on the right track? Is this what I'm
Yeah.
supposed to be doing? Right? It's still there. So they always still need support. This person, I was 1 hour, we're still like having conversation about their project, getting inside, giving them that belief, right? So we look at the journey and the life cycle. When they signed up, training pot almost every other week. We check in as needed, during the application process when days are good, rejection in interview, success, and through that, preparing them for day one on the job, like first week on the job, first month on the job, 30, like 3 months on the job. And it's just and that is why we say that friendship approach. That is why they can come back and also help our community grow as well.
That's correct.
But yeah, thank you. I think this is powerful. In the next episode, we'll be sharing some important, opportunities in tech. So if you want to, get it,
stay tuned.
If you want, if you want to become a tech bro, tech sis here in Australia, stay tuned for that one. That will be powerful. And we'll also be sharing some success story from some of our amazing ex-student alumni who
Some
have
of our
gone
amazing
by
experts will call them normal students.
expert now. Yeah. So thank you so much, Tyre, and
That's
I'll
okay.
see
My
you in the
pleasure.
next one. Thank you.
Thank you, Noah.